Hi, in this video I am going to look at how to use Azure Automation for running some jobs on a scheduled basis. Say for example, I have a VM which is running in my subscription, and my requirement is to stop this VM in night time so that my billing get reduced. So to implement that requirement, I used Azure Automation for creating some scheduled jobs, and that job will stop this VM at a night time during 12 o'clock in the night, and then start the VM by 6 o'clock in the morning. So we are going to look at that how to implement this particular requirement. So let's start creating an Azure Automation account. Click New, App Services, Automation, Run Book, and Quick Create. So here there are two options that are available. One is Quick Create, where I can create the run book and link with an existing account, or I can create a new account, or import the run book from the gallery. So what is that gallery contains? A list of run books available. This has all the PowerShell script included. Say for example, I go for VM lifecycle management. I can able to start a particular VM or stop a VM, or I can able to reboot the VM or scale the VM up and down. So if I see this run book starting the VM, I see the PowerShell script already been included. I can able to modify if required and go and create it. So let me take the stop VM because I want to stop as a first because my VM is already running, so I want to stop the VM. So let me do that. I'm going to anyway change this particular script. This has some problem for me. This doesn't work for me. So let it be. I will change it later, and I will give the runbook name as stop Azure VMs, and I'm going to create a new account and link with that. So this is the name I'm going to give, and I'm going to create it. So once I created in the account, I can see there are two account has been created here. One was already there. I was used for practice, and this is the one which I newly created. And if I go inside of the account, I see list of run books are available. Here there will be only one run book because that is what I created while creating the account itself. I created the run book and linked with the account. So this is the run book which I created, and I can able to create list of run books here. And dashboard will show the graph which actually has how the run books are running. And asset is the one which actually gives the common assets, which is something like the credentials and the profiler, all other informations which can be used across the run books can be available here. And scale is nothing but you can scale up and scale down the plan. Basically it's free or basic, something like this. And I don't want to change this anyway. So let's take the run book, and if I go here, I see the dashboard which shows how the activities are happening, how much, what are the things are failed or queued or stopped, all those things I can see. The jobs which has list of jobs which has already been run, what was the status I can see. And author is the one where you can see the PowerShell script which is basically running on a scheduled basis. So this is what I actually got while creating the run book, and I can able to change this basically. And this is in the draft mode. It will not run on a scheduled basis. I have to test it out. Once I tested and running perfectly fine, I can publish it. Once I publish it will come to here. And schedule is the where I will be scheduling this run book by running at a night time or morning time or whatever the basis I required. But I don't have any option here because there is no run book has been published here. So I have to publish this script and go for a schedule to schedule the things. And configure is nothing but you can change the list of information which is already been provided, and you can see the logging and all you can change is basically. So this is what it actually. So for information, I want to go back to the other account which was already I used for practicing. So this is the account which I was using before for practicing this. So let me go to this run book and see there are two run books are available, and in this one is for starting the VM, another one is for stopping the VM. And if I go to the start VM, this is a run book where you can see the author will have the PowerShell script which I used for scheduling this, right? And if I go to the jobs, this particular run book is running almost 10 plus days, and you can see 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, all the days it was running and it completed perfectly fine. And if I go to the dashboard, I see how this the run book is running on a daily basis, right? And in a schedule, I scheduled by 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock in the morning I started the VM. And let me go back here to the account itself. I see the dashboard, how each and everything is running. So that's how I configured it. So if I see this particular account, I started the VM by 6 o'clock in the morning and stopped the VM 12 o'clock in the night. So that's how I scheduled this. So the same thing I am planning to do in the new account which I created. So before going to change the PowerShell script on the runbook, I have to create an assert, which is actually the credential. That credential is used for connecting to that particular VM so that I can able to stop or start the VM actually. So how do I do that? By using add settings, and there are multiple options are available. I can able to create a connection or a credential or variable or schedule. So I will add the credential. So there are two type of credential I can use, either Windows PowerShell credential or certificate. So because I'm using PowerShell script, I'm going to use the PowerShell credential here, and I need to provide the name. It can be any name. And if I go to the next window, I need to provide the username and password. This username and password is the co-administrator username and password which I used in my subscription for connecting to the subscription. So let me go and create a new user into my AD and add as a co-administrator and come back to here. So I go to my Active Directory, Windows Azure Active Directory, and this is the tenant I used. And in user, there are two user already was there, and this is the service administrator which I am using, and this is the new user which I created. So like the same thing, I am going to have another one user Thiru at and here the name I can provide any name. Anyway, this is not required. I'm just showing how to create the user in AD and how to add an co-administrator. So this is the password. So I created it here. So now I need to change the password of the user, because this user is just created. I need to change the password for using that particular user. So I'm going to change the user password. So let me come back to here again. Okay, I changed the password of the user. Now the next one is I need to go and add as a co-administrator. I go to the co-administrator and add the user. Let me grab the username and give the permission for the subscription. And once it added, I'm fine with this. So now I go back to the asset again, add the user credential, and let me choose this and go to the next window. Username is this and password is the password which I used for securing my account. So now I am fine with this. I just created the credential. Now let me go to the run book and start the VM author. So this is the PowerShell script which I imported while creating the run book. So I don't need this PowerShell script anyway, because I have different PowerShell script which I want to stop and start the VM. So let me remove whatever I don't record here. Anyway, I don't need the comment. And this is created by passing the parameter. So we'll try the parameterization after some small steps have been completed. So let me remove everything. So here I have only the workflow. Workflow is the one which is starting point for the schedules, all the jobs. So let me grab some of the code here. If you see that, let me change the name of the credential here. Okay, and what I do here is I'm defining a cred is a variable and get account PS credential, which is getting from the asset which we created right now, and I'm connecting to the subscription, and let me remove this. And here I am selecting the subscription. This is the subscription which I am using for connecting to this subscription and doing the operations. So let me put some comment on this also. Right now we have the subscription ready for using, and the next one what I am planning to do is list down all the VM names where my subscription has. Let me save this. So if I see, it is getting all the VMs which are not stopped. Okay, so here I am getting the Azure VMs, list of Azure VMs this is going to provide, and where object, and filter by not equal to stop or deallocated. So what it actually going to give me is list of running or starting or started VMs basically. And here I'm having a for loop, parallel for loop, and going to print the name. So write output with the VM info. So in this I'm having the VM name and the service name. So let's save this script and run it and see what will be the output of it. So this is going to take some amount of time. So this is the output panel. So whatever the process script what we are writing, we can run it and see the output in the output panel here. So if you see that the output panel, and this is the output which I am writing, VM name equal to VM automation, VM service name equal to VM automation. So if I go and see basically my VM, so I have the same name, that is the VM name, and then service name is again the same. So right now I am going to stop this particular VM, and this is currently in running stage, that's why I get the output here. So go to this run book, author. So what next I can do with this? I'm just printing the output of it. So I'm going to stop this VM automation. The VM name is VM automation. So what I can do, so VM name is VM automation, that's what the output we got it. So I'm confirming that what is the output. So VM automation and the service name is VM automation. So the same thing I'm providing it here. So what I'm doing here is I'm selecting the VM name and service name, and I'm using this command called stop Azure VM and passing the parameter as a VM name, service name, and silent continue. And here I do that like if the operation is not succeeded, I come to the do while loop running for 5 times and stopping again the VM. Okay, so now I don't need these statements. I don't need to print those statements. So I'm commenting all those things. Now I will save this and let me run this again. And I have to go and see here the VM getting stopped or not. Within some time, if my script is correct, the VM has to stop. Let me go and have a look at the script actually, what is actually running. Go to the automation, again back to the runbook. Here, author, and see the output. Still running, so that's why I couldn't get any information here. So it takes some amount of time. Let's wait for some time and then see what is actually doing. I'm pausing this record. So now I see the script ran properly fine. I'm going to publish this particular script and create the schedule. Let me publish it. Once it published, the script will be shown in the publish tab and it will be disabled because I should not be changing it. And even I can able to start here also and test it. And go to the schedule for scheduling the script. Go to the link to schedule, basically link to your new schedule. And here I would automation VM stop. And this script has to run on daily basis and by today, and the time supposed to be by 7 o'clock night. So I'm just keeping it here. So it is a 24 hours time format. It is adjusted to the daylight. Set the time at least 5 minutes after the time you created the schedule. Set the start time. And it's supposed to run on daily basis, record every number of days. And now I created the schedule, and let me wait for showing it here. Yeah, so it is started by today and it's going to run by 7 o'clock every day night, and it's enabled right now. So currently my time is 6:53 currently in my laptop. So it is going to run in another 7 minutes. Because my VM is already stopped, this PowerShell script, if it is stopping also, it is not going to impact anything. So let me go and create another one runbook. So I can able to import the runbook by here. So let me grab another one PowerShell script which is starting the VM. I was already having it. So let me remove these comments. I don't need it. So the same way I need to declare the credential here. Declare credential and connecting to the VM and selecting the subscription. So here I am providing the VM name and then cloud service name and starting that particular VM. So that's it. So and again saying that start this VM and silent continue. If it is not succeeded, come back to the do loop and then execute again after 60 seconds sleep. Execute again to start the VM and run it by 5 times and then do it again. So once that is started, and write the output here. I need to save this first of all. Okay, I saved this PowerShell script. Let me go and import this. Right. So I am importing this PowerShell script into my runbook. Okay, I just imported. Let me go and look at what is the script is there. So this is the same script which I added there. So let me save the script and run it again now. So now my PowerShell script is running now. So in sometimes the particular VM which was stopped already, currently it is stopped. So this has to start in sometimes. Let us have a look at that. The script ran perfectly fine. So let me go and look at the Azure VM, what it actually doing. So it is actually starting the VM bell, It is starting the VM and now became running. So now my script is running properly fine, and I can able to schedule that particular script to run on daily basis. So let me go and do that. Publish. Okay, so I published this script and I got this publish tab, and I go on to create a schedule. Start Azure VM Automation, and I need to run it this by daily basis, and morning by 7 o'clock. It has to start by tomorrow morning 7 o'clock. The reason is right now I am almost end of the day, so it has to occur on daily basis. Right, I created. Now everything is ready for me. Now there are two schedules. One is for stopping the VM, another one is starting the VM. So I got both the things ready, and it will be running on daily basis. Let me go and look at the dashboard. So here if I see that the stop Azure VM has already ran, meanwhile I am creating the start Azure VM script actually. So if I go and look at this and go and see the dashboard, I supposed to see one spike because it ran one time, right? So it queued one time, and it's completed one time, and it running for one time, and then suspended 0 times. So that's how the chart shows. And if I go and see the overall picture of the account, I supposed to see the one already ran. So now I have everything ready. It will be running on daily basis. I'm okay with this. So the next one I want to show is passing the parameter while scheduling. So currently what you have seen is in the runbook, the script I have hard coded the VM name and then cloud service name. So here the VM name and service name we have hard coded. But what we need is like I want to pass this value while scheduling itself, so that I don't need to hard code into the script itself, and it will be running only for one VM. Instead, I can just define the variables here and pass that value from scheduling, so that I can able to use the same runbook for stopping the VM multiple times or multiple schedules I want to say. So how do I do that? So for example, let me go to this same stop Azure VM and author. Let me edit this. So in this, instead of defining the variable and assigning it, let us keep the parameter here. The parameter will be defined such a way like this. So here I define the parameter param, and these are all the parameters. The first one is VM name, and assigning the value variable, defining the variable as dollar symbol Azure VM name, and this is the value by default it shows to the user to enter that, and this is the service name, and this is the value it shows. And I got these both the values, and this has to be passed from while testing or while scheduling, and I go here and keep this variable here itself. And so right now the script is not bound to any hard-coded value. Okay, so that's it. So let me save the script. Saved, and let us test the script now. What happens? So it is going to show me a window which is actually providing the parameters for giving the inputs. Basically, these are all the parameters we defined in the PowerShell script. So I'm going to provide the cloud service name here, VM Automation, and the service VM name, VM Automation. Okay, so now I'm going to click complete so that it will start running. Now it is getting started. Yeah, it's just started. It is queued and starting. So now the particular script is running, and let me go and see the VM automation VM. It's supposed to be in a running stage right now so that it will stop. And in sometimes this VM is going to deallocated or stopped. So let me wait and see that what is going to happen. Okay. Okay, I got this VM stock deallocated, and let me go and see here. Okay, so I got here also deallocated, so the VM got stopped. So if I go and look at that run book, how it ran, stop VM, another. Published is the one which was already there, so the hard-coded value. So we are not testing anywhere here. I am going to the draft, and here is the param we defined it. And let me come back to the down and see it is completed now. So the next one, what I need is I need to schedule this particular script. So first of all, I need to publish this. Okay, I got published, and let me go and schedule this same. First of all, I will unlink this and link again, same stop Azure VM, daily basis, and maybe by 6 o'clock, sorry, 7 o'clock means 19 hours it has to run on daily basis. So here I see the same parameter which was shown while testing it. So here I supposed to give the VM name, VM automation, and the service name, VM automation. So here I'm passing this value here. I'm not hard coding anywhere. I'm passing this value while scheduling it. So if I completed this, then the value comes here. Okay, I got the schedule done. It is going to stop my VM by 7 o'clock in the night from 3:1. The same way I can able to schedule another one time by using the same runbook. Say for example, I have another one system which is used for dev server, and I am going to schedule to stop that VM, stop dev server. Currently I don't have it, I am just showing it, and daily visit has to run by stopping some time, and go here and give that like dev machine and dev machine. So I can able to save this. So on the schedule time the dev machine also going to stop. So like this I can have multiple VMs I can able to stop by using only one run book but multiple schedules. I'm recording this the next day, whatever you have seen just before. I'm just showing that what is the progress, whatever we have done it. It ran two times. Basically, the first one it ran already when we are stopping the VM, and this is one which ran in the morning times by 6 o'clock in the morning. What we have scheduled it. So currently the things are running properly fine. Let me go and see the run book again, dashboard. So here this is the one which is started in the morning, starting the VM, and we have scheduled the stop VM by 7 o'clock in the night actually, and this running was happened last time when we scheduled it. So this is perfectly fine, whatever we are running is perfectly fine. This is on the night time, so that's why I'm recording by morning 11 o'clock. So I didn't see that this is ran, so that's correct one. And let me go and see the other run book, start VM, and this is scheduled by 6 o'clock in the morning. That's why you have seen one spike here. So properly everything works fine, so I'm good to go with this.